Skyrim Special Edition, um, the remastered version of Bethesda's classic RPG that was released some years ago. Now, this is the PS4 review, and it is available on Xbox One and PC. I had this originally on PlayStation 3. I didn't get it straight away. When I first got my PlayStation 3, I didn't know an awful lot about this game. And then I started learning about it and hearing about it, and when I got the game, it just blew my mind really. I just lost myself in the game. When I first put it on and played it for the first time on PlayStation 3, I didn't really know what I'd gotten into, because it was a little confusing at first, because you can get really bogged down in all the quests and all the missions, and it kind of got a bit confusing to me. But I stuck with it, and I carried on playing it. And like I said, I just completely lost myself in the world of Skyrim. It is probably the most fleshed out world stroke RPG I've ever played. I think the only game that's ever, for me, come close to this is probably Witcher 3, and they probably stand fairly close together side by side as my favourite RPGs of all time. So, when I learned that Bethesda was remastering this for the PlayStation 4, I got a bit giddy really, because I'd not played this for about 2.5 years, 3 years, because of the backwards compatibility thing. I don't have a PlayStation 3 anymore. I've just got a PlayStation 4, so there are a number of games that you miss. As good as the games are on PlayStation 4, there were some absolute beauties on PlayStation 3, and you do miss them, and this was one of the games that I absolutely missed. So when I found out it was being remastered, I was absolutely delighted, and also to find out that it was having mods was even more exciting. Now, I know there's been some controversy with the PlayStation 4 mods. I know they were delayed, and then they weren't coming, then they were coming. Well, they're on now, but I think it's fair to say that the mods for PC far outweigh those that you can get on consoles, and even the mods you can get on Xbox One are far better than the ones you get on PlayStation 4. You're kind of limited to what's already within the game for the mods on the PlayStation 4. But saying that, it is still fun, and the mods do work. I've not tried one yet that doesn't, so it still does add to the fun element of the game, the mods. So for me then, Skyrim, I got it when on its day of release last week, and I've been playing it consistently since, and I'm losing myself in the world of Skyrim for the second time. But it almost feels like putting on a comfortable pair of shoes, because you recognise places when you're playing it, and you know your way to Whiterun and Riften, and you recognise certain landscapes, but they just look much prettier this time. And it's not like playing the game for the first time, because you do have an understanding of the game and a familiarity of what's expected of you and the environment. But I think what is really, really good is they've managed to capture that sense of wonder by the remaster, in that they've made it look much, much prettier and slicker. So it kind of feels new, but at the same time it's very, very familiar for veteran Skyrim players. I've put probably well over 30 hours into it since I bought it. And how I like to play Skyrim is I don't follow the main quest straight away. I'll start the main quest. I'll do the first 2 or 3 parts of the main quest, and then I will split off and start getting lost in the side quests. And that's just the way I like to play it. It's the way I like to play all Bethesda games. I do the same with Fallout as well. I think for me that is the best way of playing the game. Everybody's got their own style, obviously, but that's the way I like to play the game. I like to get lost in the side quests, and then occasionally I'll dip back into the main quest and do one of those missions again. You can see from my character here, I like to build like a warrior build. I like to make it. I like to make my character almost Conan-like. I always have with RPGs. I think it's just the era that I grew up in, really. You know, I was a big Conan fan when I was young. So I like to have him to have two-handed weapons like that. He even holds it like Conan. And I like to build like a tank of a warrior. So I'll upgrade the two-handed weapons to their most powerful, and to the point where you get like one-hit kills pretty much with most of the enemies that you face, which to me adds to the sense of realism, because in reality, if you got hit by one of them swords once, that's it, game over. You would be dead. So to me it adds a sense of realism to the game when I really overpower the two-handed weapons, two-handed swords and axes. And the cutscene, the mini cutscenes where it does like the beheadings and things again, is just as awesome as I remember. I can't really heap enough praise on this game. I'll admit I was a little bit worried with the remaster, by playing it again I'm wondering if it would still capture my imagination. Was it still as good as I remembered? And it absolutely is. I would even argue that it's even better than I remember. But that could just be me, really, because I love this game so much. I think for someone who's never ever played Skyrim before, it's an absolute no-brainer. You have to buy this game. If you're any kind of adventuring fan, gaming-wise, RPG fan, or you just wanted to try something new and you've never played it before, go out. I don't think there's many games on the PlayStation 4 with better value than this, because not only do you get the Skyrim game, main game, which is endless hours, but you get the 3 DLCs that came with the game. You get the Dawn Guard, which I believe that's the one where you have to fight this like big vampire clan. There's Hearthfire, which is where you get to build like your own properties and adopt children and things like that, which is, I think, is really cool. I think it was, when it first came out, that DLC, it wasn't particularly well received, but I quite like it, I have to be honest. I don't mind that one at all. And the Dragonborn DLC. Now, originally I've never played Dawnguard and I've never played Dragonborn, and I still haven't yet. I haven't started them quests yet. But I did get the Hearthfire DLC on my PlayStation 3 version, because it was only cheap. I think only about £2, $2.99, something like that. But for a game that I paid, I bought this in my local supermarket, Asda, and I paid, I think it was £37 for this. So I'd like to show me somebody to show me a full price game out there with better value than that. £37 for a game with this much content and this much value for money, literally hundreds of hours of game time, is the best thing out there. My only rant really with this is, and this isn't a knock on the game, it's a knock on digital downloads. If I wanted to digitally download this game, it would have cost me $49.99, and for that you don't even get a physical copy of the game. Now I don't have an issue with digital downloading at all, but what really gets me cross is they promote digital downloads because they want people to pre-order games, and I do pre-order games, and I do get some games on digital download, but $49.99 for a digital downloader, you don't even get a physical copy, is far too expensive when you can go out buy a physical copy for £37 brand new in your local supermarket. So come on, PlayStation, Xbox, sort it out. If you want people to use digital downloads more, then you sort out your prices, because people just aren't at all. You know, when you can buy it nearly £15 cheaper off the shelf. Okay, rant over if you like. To finish then, like I say, this game is an absolute no-brainer. It's a buy. It's an immediate buy. Even for those, I think, who have... I think if you've still got a PlayStation 3 and you've still got the PlayStation 3 copy, is it worth upgrading? Probably not. If, like me, you've only got a PlayStation 4 and you haven't played this for a couple of years, then absolutely I would suggest that this is an essential buy. I know I'm going to be playing this now for a number of weeks, putting countless hours into the game and get so much back from it. So it's a no-brainer. This game is a buy. For me, it's one of the all-time classics, one of the greatest games ever made, and would easily make, I think, my top 10 greatest games of all time. So, essential buy it now.